Welcome to the sixth and I think second last reading of the catalogue essay that accompanies the exhibition, which is an homage to the work and life of Danila Vasiliev, the exhibition at Mars Gallery in Windsor. The exhibition is titled A Letter to Danila, What You Hope For Through Your Lifetime, and that's also the title of the essay. The front cover of the little catalogue, beautifully designed by Sontag Press, has the following title, inscription, text. Has a number of points that I assumed Danila had hoped to achieve through his lifetime. 1, to awaken through art. 2, to believe in the moment. 3, to acknowledge simplicity. 4, to abandon hypocrisy. 5, to affirm truthfulness. 6, to redeem loneliness. 7, to immerse in the spiritual. And 8, to embrace timelessness. I added a 9th aspiration, hope, that has gone unfulfilled, that is left blank, and my hope is that Danila will work on that wherever he is. I'll continue the reading. Finally, at a certain point along the making of each entwining, I sensed that I needed to place a chair in front of it in order that you might sit and consider, Danila, along with me, what is in front of you, at leisure and in your own good time. I wanted to provide a still place from which to contemplate, for as long as you may desire, each entwining and any questions that may arise from it. But then what kind of chair would I pair with each entwining? What colour would it be? What size and shape? I decided to use the smallest chairs I had, ones my children had played with when they were small. There's a sense of innocence in how you approached each day, and I wanted to keep faith with that. I will leave the chairs in place throughout the exhibition, just in case you may want, at some point, to return to the stillness and perhaps to the questioning. Through the placing and displacing of the tiny chairs, I have found the quality of your absence much more mysterious and much more gratifying than any presence might. Resurrection, it's an interesting word, isn't it, Danila? I have thought of that word in a new way, in the hope that the energetic entwining of your presence in and around each homage manifests untouched and apparent on its very skin, in the same way that your directness and transparency allowed your inner life to become visible, both directly to those closest to you and indirectly on the surface of each of your paintings. My own wish is that in writing on the coattails of your exemplary transparency, my inner turmoil might at last be exposed to the outer world's blue sky, to its air, wind, and rain. And as I have approached the making of each entwining, I have hoped that you might lead me through its formation to a deeper appreciation of the space you struggled for and claimed for yourself. And even if I could only stand briefly at its threshold, I reasoned, peering into the vastness, I might at least gain some insight into what has deeply moved me about your painting and your life. Such insight, even if temporary, might give me with a sense of how you approached both being and doing, offering me a better understanding of the difference between the two. More cogently, perhaps it may even lead me to a deeper appreciation of what has driven your ongoing commitment, no matter the cost, to describing what is. Dear Danila, I'm afraid that I am more Utrillo than Vasiliev, and the image I suddenly have in my mind in this moment is both somewhat comical and, forgive me, unashamedly romantic. It's of you lifting both Maurice and I into an openness high into blue air as Maurice hangs onto your ankles and I desperately hang onto his. Can you carry us both upwards, Danila? Not necessarily in the ambitious way some might speak about upwardness, but simply as a movement into the bluest sky, into the space that Domenico Modugno, inspired as he was by Yves Klein's obsession with blueness, so aptly described in his popular 1958 song, coincidentally, the year of your passing. The song's lyrics describe an ascension, volare, flying, as a spiraling high above the clouds into blueness, nel blu dipinto di blu, inside a blue painted upon with blueness. Inferring that what awaits the ascender might be a kind of redemption offered through the bestowing of a precious gift, the opportunity to explore an unknown vastness. My last question, Danila, is this. If I should ever find a way to ascend into the unknown Kleinian blueness, might my presence in its depths, however brief, lead me to a better understanding of the mystery I still pose to my other self, the one that watches me, and this I know, the one that is constantly astonished at what he observes? Are you still negotiating its vastness, Danila? Finally, in closing, I must confess a sadness to you. Having reflected evening after evening on all of the above, I'm left with a persistent feeling that something of great significance has evaded me and remains out of the reach of my understanding. Despite all that I have considered and written and done in paying homage to you, I doubt that I have understood anything at all of you, and of any of the myriad reasons you lived your joyfully melancholy life in the way you did. I believe that the true significance of my attempt has evaded me, and I have no idea where to begin to search for it. But I suspect that it rests in plain sight, inside what is common to each of us, no matter what gender we might be, or where we come from, where we were born, or how old we are, or even what we might believe in. And no matter how hard I try to sense its shape, to unearth it if it's buried somewhere, or to unveil it if it's been forgotten in some dusty corner of a lost room, it simply refuses to appear in my mind, to form itself in thought. But I thank you, Danila, for alerting me to the possibility that simply sensing the absence of such meaning is itself a gift. Its welcome consequence is that the persistent hope that an understanding of this paradox might somehow manifest can be put to rest as yet another irrelevant whimsy of the mind. Thanks for your attention. That's all for today. I'll complete the reading of this essay tomorrow. Thank you.